Hello everyone, I just wanted to preference this episode by saying this is a trade deadline episode. Hope everybody's excited. There's going to be a lot of trades, a lot of them. But there will be no gameplay in this episode just because I did some simming and I did some trades and it took up a lot of time, all of the trades and simming. So I just want to preface this by saying there's no gameplay. I kind of talk about maybe playing a game throughout the episode, but there is none. I didn't want you guys to be like waiting for it to happen and it never happens. So just prefacing this by saying that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Hello everybody, welcome back to Sacramento Kings franchise. It is the trade deadline episode. We got a lot of trades to get through. We also will hopefully be making some moves. This is what our trade block is looking like. You can also maybe include, like, if there's a good offer for Taylor Hendricks, I'm open to moving him. I'm really open to moving a lot of guys just because, you know, I mean, what do we really have to lose, you know? We have salary filler in Harrison Barnes if we need to send that out. But I think our biggest pieces that we're looking to trade is maybe a Neat Clifford, who I just haven't felt like has really found a place with us ever in his career, really. And Keegan Murray, who is struggling really, really hard this season, but maybe a contender would like to get a guy who can possibly shoot the ball. I mean, he shot the ball pretty decently at some points in his career, sometimes not as much, but he's also a really good defender. So who knows? Maybe somebody would be willing to take a shot on that for, you know, a cheaper price than what you would normally get for a guy like this because he is having such a bad season. Peyton Watson's also an option to trade, not having the best season. He's been better as of late, still not fantastic though, but he's definitely an option to be traded just because his game is so similar to Taylor Hendricks. One of them probably would have to go. But yeah, that's what our trade block is looking like. Without further ado, we can get into some of the trades around the league. All right, the first move of the deadline. G.G. Jackson is being sent to the Seattle Supersonics, along with Jalen Smith, for Bennett Sturts, Nikola Jovic, and 2 second-round picks. So basically, the Seattle is getting a nice young potential player who hasn't actualized his potential yet. He hasn't been doing a whole lot for Memphis, but he still has a lot of potential, and he's still very young. And Memphis is getting a pretty good point guard, backup point guard, who is still young. It's only his third season in the league, but he's doing a bit more, and he can be a good backup for them. They're also getting 2 second-round picks for this, kind of like just a good deal for both sides. The Sonics kind of going for a swing on G.G. Jackson, and the Grizzlies trying to stay consistent with some better guard depth and future picks. All right, for the next deal of the video, the Suns are getting Ade Mara from the Warriors for a future first-round pick and Scottie Pippen Jr. The Suns have a lot of guard depth, so they're willing to give up Scottie Pippen Jr. to the Warriors, and the Warriors are kind of in a rebuild. They also are pretty heavy at center, so they don't mind getting a first-round pick for taking on Scottie Pippen Jr. So pretty simple deal, first-round pick for Ade Mara essentially. All right, the next deal is going to be Ron Holland getting sent to the Las Vegas High Rollers for Norman Powell and a first-round pick. So the Pistons have to kind of get rid of... They have... Well, okay, so essentially the Pistons are way over cap, and this will still have them over cap, but it's for 2 years less, so they're paying less money over the years, and he'll expire next year. And they get a first-round pick for it. So also, Ron Holland is just a bit too similar to Asar Thompson for him to fit really, really well into this team. They're kind of hard to play together, and it would be great for the Pistons to have another scoring option off of the bench and Norman Powell. So good trade from both sides. All right, another deal. We got a lot of these. This one is sending Ben Seraph and Jonathan Isaac, pretty much just salary filler, to the Raptors for Rui Hachimura, Robin Woods, and 2 second-round picks. So the idea behind this one, the Nets are kind of competing. They need some power forward depth. Rui Hachimura can be that. Ben Seraph is expiring, and they're going to have to re-sign a lot of their rookies. So getting rid of some of them and some salary would help them in this offseason because they're going to have to re-sign a lot of guys. So, yeah. All right, a pretty big one here. We got Austin Reeves going to the Heat, who are trying to continue to improve their team. They're giving up Andrew Wiggins and DeAndre Hunter for him. The Lakers are getting 2 defensive wings who are going to be on a contract for at least another 2 years. Should help out Luka. And Austin Reeves just doesn't fit with Luka that well. His contract is expiring, so they're trying to get some value out of him. So yeah, that's the deal. Chris Murray also going to the Heat. All right, another trade. The Supersonics are making a lot of moves because, they're just bad. They have moves to make. They're giving up a future first lottery protected, so if it's a good pick, they'll have it. Bobby Portis and a second round pick for Walter Clayton Jr. Now, again, you might think this is a bit of an unfair trade just because Walter Clayton is a lot better, but they need some big depth, so they're getting Bobby Portis, who is a big. He's old, but he is a big. And Walter Clayton's also expiring, and the Jazz don't want to have to pay him. They're already over the salary cap by a lot, so they don't want to have to give him a beefy contract. But the Sonics would be completely fine with that, so that's that deal. All right, it is the start of a blow up. The Knicks are moving off of Mikal Bridges. They're going to get Dyson Daniels back, who has 2 years left on his $25 million deal. Bridges is expiring, so the Hawks are going to be able to get off that money while also being able to compete with the better player of Mikal Bridges over Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels brings defense to the Knicks, which is nice to have. Mikal Bridges is also a really good defender, so they're kind of equal on that front, but he is making less money, and he's also not expiring. They also get DiVincenzo, and the Knicks have to give up 2 seconds, or probably, would the Knicks have to give up seconds for this? I think they'd probably give up 1 second because Mikal Bridges is expiring, so he is going to have to get extended by the Hawks, but the Hawks have been so close to competing for so long, so I think them making a move to get a bit better makes sense. And like I said, the Knicks are kind of retooling, so get ready for more Knicks trades. All right, another move for the Knicks. OG Anunoby, Ben Simmons, and Kevin McCullough Jr. are going to the Clippers for Cole Anthony, Tari Eason, Kobe Brown, and a late first-round pick swap with Phoenix and the Clippers. OG Anunoby has not been good this season. He does not have that much value, but hopefully he can be rejuvenated in LA, and the Clippers are really trying to make a push this year to be a good team. So hopefully OG, and by good I mean like actually compete, OG hopefully will help them with that, and this gives the Knicks a bunch of depth in areas and a pick as well for, what is an expiring contract, and a couple of other guys. So that's going to be a lot of the moves for the Knicks. The only teams that are left that are going to make pretty big moves are going to be the Timberwolves and us. So we will get to those now. I know it's been a lot of trades, but this is a big trade deadline. All right, so the Timberwolves are going to start blowing their stuff up, just like the Knicks are, by moving Julius Randle, Rocco Zikarsky, and 2 second-round picks for Dalton Knecht. Dalton Knecht's actually been really good throughout his whole career. He's been in Charlotte for a while, but they could use some size in Charlotte, and they're looking to compete somewhat soon. Not like soon, but like to start being good somewhat soon. Julius Randle is somewhat of a floor raiser. Not much of one, but he would help them. Rocco Zikarsky helps them get some more size as well. They get 2 second-round picks for Dalton Knecht. The Timberwolves, Jaden McDaniels is out, but even when he comes back, it would be nice to have his shooting in the lineup for sure. So I think this helps both teams get better but there's going to be more from the Wolves. I'm telling you that. I know there's been a lot of trades at the deadline. I know I'm telling you guys there's been a lot of trades. There's going to be some more. Okay, so Minnesota is doing another deal with the Hornets. They already did one, sending Julius Randle over there. They're going to send Terrence Shannon Jr. over there as well and get back Patrick Mason, who is like a late first-round pick. And they're also going to get a first-round pick back. I have been trying to do trades for this Timberwolves team for a while, but to be honest, there's not a lot that they can do. I think a lot of their big moves are going to be coming in the offseason because they have Naz Reid expiring. They have Jaden McDaniels expiring. They'll probably re-sign him. But they have a lot of expiring deals. They have a lot of money opening up. But that is where I think a lot of their moves are going to come. But they did make a couple small moves. And now we are moving on to the Kings trades because that's all that we have left. All right, everyone. So we're now on to the Kings, and we'll be making our moves now. And now we're done making our moves. We are actually not going to make any moves at the deadline. Now, that's not for a lack of wanting to. It was just a lack of deals to be made, really. Obviously, Keegan Murray was on the trade block. We just didn't find really any good trades for him that I was interested in. He's still got 3 years left on his deal, so trading him in the offseason is still an option. But for now, he's going to be staying on the team. The other players that I was looking to move was Nick Clifford, who, again, I just wasn't seeing really any deals I was interested in. So he is going to be a free agent, but I believe we will have his qualifying offer. So we'll be able to match any deal he gets, and we can always trade him or just not match his contract and let him walk. And the other two that were pretty much up for debate on trading was Taylor Hendricks and Peyton Watson. Now, Taylor Hendricks has 2 years left on the deal. He wasn't really who I was thinking about trading. It would have been Peyton Watson. But again, I just wasn't really seeing any deals that I was interested in. And I'm not gonna like force a deal if it's not there. There was already a lot of trades this trade deadline, so I didn't really see a point in forcing more for our team because I didn't really see any area where we could get that much better by making the trades that were being offered for our guys. It auto did the lineup, so I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so with that being said, that's going to be the end of the trade deadline. We're going to be moving forward by probably playing against one of these other teams, maybe the Heat, who have Giannis, Bam, Vucevic, and Austin Reeves that they added. Or we could play against like the Hawks, who added Mikal Bridges. We haven't played against the Hawks yet, so I think that would actually be a fun team to play against. They do have Trae Young out with injury though, so we'll see. I'll start simulating games, and then we'll see who we play against. But first, we'll simulate against the Portland Trail Blazers. All right, everyone. So we're now on to the Kings, and we'll be making our moves now. And now we're done making our moves. We are actually not going to make any moves at the deadline. Now, that's not for a lack of wanting to. It was just a lack of deals to be made, really. Obviously, Keegan Murray was on the trade block. We just didn't find really any good trades for him that I was interested in. He's still got 3 years left on his deal, so trading him in the offseason is still an option. But for now, he's going to be staying on the team. The other players that I was looking to move was Nick Clifford, who, again, I just wasn't seeing really any deals I was interested in. So he is going to be a free agent, but I believe we will have his qualifying offer. So we'll be able to match any deal he gets, and we can always trade him or just not match his contract and let him walk. And the other two that were pretty much up for debate on trading was Taylor Hendricks and Peyton Watson. Now, Taylor Hendricks has 2 years left on the deal. He wasn't really who I was thinking about trading. It would have been Peyton Watson. But again, I just wasn't really seeing any deals that I was interested in. And I'm not gonna like force a deal if it's not there. There was already a lot of trades this trade deadline. So I didn't really see a point in forcing more for our team because I didn't really see any area where we could get that much better by making the trades that were being offered for our guys. It auto did the lineup, so I'll have to fix that. But yeah, so with that being said, that's going to be the end of the trade deadline. We're going to be moving forward by probably playing against one of these other teams, maybe the Heat, who have Giannis, Bam, Vucevic, and Austin Reeves that they added. Or we could play against like the Hawks, who added Mikal Bridges. We haven't played against the Hawks yet, so I think that would actually be a fun team to play against. They do have Trae Young out with injury though, so we'll see. I'll start simulating games and then we'll see who we play against. But first, we'll simulate against the Portland Trail Blazers. All right, moving forward. Yeah, the game against the Trailblazers. Again, I'm not really sure what game we'll be playing. Maybe we'll play against the Timberwolves. Maybe we'll play against the Hawks. I'm not too sure. But we're going to play against somebody, I'll tell you that much. Maybe we can even play against the Sonics. They got some new players. That might be an interesting game to play. But we're going to sim some games into the All-Star break, go over all that stuff. First up, we got the Blazers. They've been pretty good this year. No surprise there. They got a really good roster. What I would assume would be one of Dame's last years. They beat us by almost 30, or about 22 points. Kingston Fleming's 22. Joshawn Oakley 15. Keegan Murray 13 on 20 shots. Ty Jerome 13. Nate Clifford 13. Keanu Ellis 12. Yeah. Next up is the Warriors, who are obviously one of our rivals. They got Eddie Marks back, so he's in their starting lineup, so they're going to be a bit tougher than last time. Next up, obviously we have the Warriors, as I said. I do think it's interesting that we didn't make any trades at the deadline. I've kind of talked about it. There wasn't really many moves to make. None that like I was comfortable making, you know. I really want to get a return on the players that we trade, and there just really wasn't that great of a return for any of the players. So we didn't make any moves. Let me know what you guys think about that. But we lost this game against the Warriors by 2 points, which is not great. Joshawn Oakley 19, Keegan Murray 17. We're trying to give Keegan Murray a lot more minutes, so he can hopefully build up his trade value. Cam Trice 14, Kingston Fleming's 13. Pretty spread out in the points, but yeah, Keegan Murray continues to struggle. I hoped giving him more minutes would kind of help him, but so far that has not been the case. So it's going to be interesting to watch his split stats for after the All-Star break, because that's when he's going to be getting a lot more of those minutes. But let's just keep moving forward. We got the Heat up next. I don't think we're going to play this game. I think we'll probably play one of the teams after the All-Star break. Maybe the Jazz. They have a new team as well with Scotty Barnes and other teams. I don't know. Maybe we play Minnesota. They have, you know, an interesting team that they're working on. Or maybe we just end up playing Seattle. I think Seattle's probably who we will end up playing, but who knows? Next up, we got the Heat, though. So looking at the Heat team, they obviously have added Austin Reeves, who, I guess it's kind of hard to look at his stats as of late, but they added him hopefully for some offense. They're 5-5 in their last 10. So who knows how that's going, but hopefully, I mean, I'm sure they would hope that their team is good. Look, I mean, they're thrashing us, but I don't know how much that really says. All right, we had a decent third quarter against them, but they kind of just demolished us. Ty Jerome 15, Kingston Fleming's 14. The rest of this year is kind of just wash, to be honest. We're not really playing for anything. We don't really have any new guys, so maybe we play a little bit more of our younger guys some more. Maybe get Bruce Wesley in the lineups more. I'll probably think about this like after the All-Star break, but maybe get some of our younger guys in and just, you know, see who's gonna stick on this team and who's not for the off season. Give a lot of the guys that we're not sure about some minutes, so then we can be more sure about them. I think that should be our plan for the rest of the season. But I mean, we've been losing a lot lately, so who knows what'll happen this year? Who knows? Maybe we'll get a top pick again. But next up, we got the Hawks. All right, the Hawks, another good team. We are on a big losing streak. Hopefully that can end tonight. Just takes one big game from one of our guys. That's all it takes. Our team is just a bit inconsistent, but it looks like we're having a good night finally, and we finally are going to break that losing streak. Ty Jerome dropping 24 to bring us home the win. Kingston Flemings also had 21 and 9 assists. That's beautiful. Keegan Murray, he played okay, I guess. Keon Ellis, 17. Cam Trice, 17 as well. Very well-rounded. Our team is a very well-rounded scoring team, which is a good and a bad thing. But that's our last game for All-Star break, which is fun. So we'll kind of go through the All-Star stuff and then get to the game against the Blazers. So I'll just send through all that. All right, looking at All-Star break, the three-point contest winner was Dalton Connect for the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's nice. And Caleb Wilson won the dunk contest. The All-Stars are, as you can see here, Cade, Halliburton making it is kind of interesting since their team is pretty bad, but he's good. So Giannis, Tatum, Banchero, Donovan Mitchell, John Morant, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Brown, Keyshawn George, Jalen Duren, Tyrese Maxey for the West, Shea, Ant, Vic, Jokic, Amen Thompson, Luka, Devin Booker, Sengun, Brandon Ingram, look at him making it, Ace Bailey, Cooper Flag, and LaMelo Ball. All right, and then now we're just on to this Blazers game. Yeah, just keeping it pushing. All right, we are up against the Blazers. They didn't make any changes. They did have somebody just go down with an injury for the rest of the year. I believe it was Shaden Sharp, which really sucks for them. And I think he's out for the whole year, 4 to 6 months. Yeah, which is it says 2 to 4 there, but he's out for a while with an injury. So that should make this game a little bit easier. Don't know if we'll win it though. We will see. It's a close one. They're kind of, never mind. They're gonna blow us out. It looks like. No, we only lose by 12. Flemings 18 points. Keegan Murray 15. Actually 4 for 4 from 3. Good job, Keegan. Nate Clifford 12. Ty Jerome 11. Cam Trice 11. Keon Ellis 9. Jayshawn Oakley 8. Did not shoot the ball well. That's okay. But yeah, it's going to be a long episode because we are going to play against the Sonics, and it's already been a long episode, so forgive me for that. But we got some more games to send. We're up against the Timberwolves next, who, honestly, we've been losing a lot, but we're not even that far off of their record. So if we beat them, we could be in that 12th seed, 12th to 11th seed. So I don't think we'd be close to making the play-in. I think there's a big gap there, but we'd be close. All right, I've been compiling all of the trades and stuff into my video editing software, and we're at about 20-ish minutes at this point, and a little bit past 20. And I'm thinking we're not going to have gameplay in this episode. I will probably have put a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode, so you already know this, but it is at this point in time when I'm realizing and deciding that. And so next episode is when we'll probably be starting off with a game against the Sonics, and then we'll probably sim a bit more. But this just helps us get through the season a bit faster, especially considering our team's not that good this year. We're not really playing for anything, really, so this will help us get through the season faster. And yeah, so no gameplay in this episode. I'm going to still sim up to the Sonics game, then we'll go over the standings, and we'll go over award races too. I'll end off the episode, and the next episode we'll start off with playing the Sonics. So that's the plan for now. We got the Wolves in front of us. Hopefully we can beat them. They obviously made a couple changes at the deadline, but they're going to be making a lot more changes in the offseason. They're still going to come out with a win, though. They're still better than us. Ty Jerome, 25 points. Good stuff off the bench from him. Peyton Watson, 13. Nate Clifford, 13. He's been, honestly, scoring pretty good in pretty limited minutes, which is pretty impressive to me, because we haven't been giving him the minutes. So the fact he is still able to be scoring at such a high volume is very nice. He's only, is he not shooting threes at all? Oh, maybe this was probably the first game. After the second game, it's the second game. Interesting. But so I think I'm gonna actually give him a couple more minutes. I feel bad kind of bearing him on the rotation. Actually, this is tough. Okay. I mentioned this earlier in the episode that we would be experimenting a little bit more because, you know, our team's not going to be good. So I want to play our like younger guys a little bit more, give them some opportunities. How is Peyton Watson playing on the year? He's okay. I'm not sure I'm too impressed with what I'm seeing. I want to give Bruce Wesley some minutes to play, and I'm gonna give Taylor Hendricks just a bit less and give it to Nate Clifford. So switching up the rotation a little bit, bringing Peyton Watson not off the bench anymore, but just trying a couple new things, seeing what our other guys can do off of the bench. We got one more game where we'll be able to see that a little bit, but obviously it's gonna be like that for a little bit of the season. So next up is the Jazz. We'll just go to that now. All right, we're up against the Jazz, who are 26-29. They actually started the season off really well, but they've been cold as of late, which does not bode well for them. Maybe their trade deadline did not go how they planned it to. Kind of sucks. They are still in the plan. Minnesota is just outside, so it's going to be them in Minnesota, and maybe even the Warriors fighting for that last play-in spot. But let's see if we can upset the Jazz and I guess technically we could make it into that 10th spot. I don't really see it happening, but it's definitely a possibility. But not if we lose. So yeah, we lost by 30 points, so definitely not. Bruce Wesley though, wow, it's a great game. Love to see that. Keegan Murray, he's playing decent the past couple games. 4 blocks, 2 steals is really good. Fleming's 14-8. Nate Clifford 13. I raise his minutes, but he gets just about the same amount of points. Ty Jerome 11, Keon Ellis 11, Cam Trice 10, Taylor Hendricks getting dinged up there, and Jayshawn Oakley only 10 points on the night. Let's find out what this Taylor Hendricks injury is. That makes me feel, him being injured makes me feel a bit better. He's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks because now I can sit him and play Peyton Watson without just sitting Peyton Watson for no reason, you know? So he's going to be out 2 to 4 weeks with some shin splints. That is fine. I will just put him in the reserves and he can get healthy. But, yeah, we'll just keep pushing. Actually, that was our last game of the episode, but I'm going to sum up to this February 20th game, and then we'll go over all of the league. So I'll see you then. Okay, so we're up to the Seattle game. We're going to play them next episode. They have a fun, new, kind of revamped team. They still suck, though. So let's go over the standings really quick. The Spurs are in first, followed by the Blazers, the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Suns. All of those teams pretty much within 1 game. Then the Lakers behind them by 2. The Nuggets closely behind them. Clippers, Mavs, Jazz, Timberwolves, Warriors, us, High Rollers, Sonics, and the Pelicans, who are still awful. Are any of these teams kind of doing better in their last 10? No, we're actually doing the worst out of the bottom 5 in our last 10, but hey, it is what it is. The Lakers, I think, are on an 8-game win streak after trading Austin Reeves, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you think that's cool. I bet they're pretty good defensively, too. Wizards are the surprise best team in the East this year, followed by Detroit, the Hawks, who have been decent since getting Mikal Bridges. Definitely not bad. The Grizzlies are 4th, then the Sixers, Cavs, who have been pretty good as of recent, Celtics, Magic, Brooklyn, the Heat, who are in the 10th seed, and then the Knicks, who are 5-5 since making their trades. Keep in mind that the trades that the Knicks made kind of are more for next season rather than this season. They also are down Jaylen Brown, so there's that as well. Then it's the Pacers, Hornets, Raptors, Bulls, and Bucks at the bottom of the East. All of them, those 5 teams within 1 game of each other, all fighting for that last pick or the first pick in the draft. Very impressive stuff out of them. Looking at the award races, Victor Wembanyama leading the way, followed by Cade, Jokic, Luka, and Amen Thompson. The Rookie of the Year, Cam Trice still in the lead here, followed by Jamal Chandler, Shake Dotson, Chase Jackson, and Brandon Ryder. Sixth Man of the Year, Tonde Yesufu leading the way, then Jaime, Chris Sanak, Thomas Hall, and Cameron Carr. For Defensive Player of the Year, it looks like Wemby, Amen, Asar, Chet, and Donovan Clingan. For Most Improved, Asa Newell leading the way. VJ's behind him. I'm not really sure if that even makes any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Cal Filipowski, Chris Sanak. Does this make sense? His rookie year was a little better than this year. Chris Sanak did get better, and Justin Edwards has gotten better. So I think Asa Newell is definitely the leading candidate, even though he's not really that much improved. Clutch Player of the Year, Shea, LaMelo, Zion, Anthony Edwards, and Devin Booker. And that is going to end off the episode today. I know there's no gameplay, which is a bit sad, but I'll try and get out the next episode rather quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed all the trades that happened, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series as a whole. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.